Everybody, how are you doing today? This is Anna Abramowitz. Let's talk about some awesomeness today. This is going to take a little bit longer than 5 minutes, so if you don't have the time, don't tune in, watch it later, watch it on YouTube with subtitles, because I'm going to get into some awesomeness about e-learning and about the fact that I think that just a couple of epiphanies that I wanted to share with you today about the fact that it's not our e-learning that's been the issue. It's really been the way we've set it up, the way we've presented it. So, are you excited about this? I hope you are. By the way, you want more of this? elearningsecrets.com. Sign up for the webinar. All right. So, first off, and by the way, if you get a chance, if you're finding these useful, do tell me in the comments. I love hearing from you guys. Okay. So, first off, what I wanted to tell you is just really quickly kind of frame where I think e-learning fits in the world of learning, in the world of our lives, in the world of us performing better as adults, right? Because that's what I'm talking about always when I'm talking about here. It's really about helping adults in the workplace or in their lives live better lives. So one of the things that I got to do years back is attend a like one of those lunch and learn workshops with somebody who I can't believe he's just become such a big part of my professional life, and that's Conrad Gottfriedson, who is also the co-author with Mr. Bob Mosher, who I call BMosh because that's his Twitter handle, and those are the people who came up with the 5 moments of learning need. They're the co-authors of that, and one of my mentors, Carol Stroud, actually I got to work with her, and she introduced us to the company that I was working at. So that is so cool when people introduce new ideas, because it has fully come full circle for me. So first off, let me just tell you a little bit about, if you're not familiar with the 5 moments of learning need. I'm not going to get into it here because Bob and Conrad have put together some fantastic articles outlining this, and there's videos out there. So I'm just going to give you an overview because it frames the work that we do in e-learning as far as where it fits, okay? So if you think about the 5 moments of learning need in a person's professional life, and it's actually cool because it's not just professional, it's life related to life as well in some ways. So you've got, okay, let's just say 5 moments of So they will go, I'm just going to quickly kind of outline them here. So we're going to have 1. I found the squeaky one, everybody. Okay, so this one is when you're learning something new, when you're learning something more. Then we've got learning more. What else do we have? Yes, oh, that's right, when you're at the moment of apply. At the moment of something goes wrong, so you're problem solving. And this one is the change, when things change. So basically, the premise is that every person, when they start a new work or basically a new skill, what happens is they go through almost like this continuum. And for me, this continuum of, learning a skill the first time, it's a new skill to you. So you're like, oh, this is new, I'm learning it. I've learned it, now I've been able to apply it in the workplace a little bit. I learned a little bit more. So I think these first 2 moments are done via the kinds of things that we design as far as training goes. And the rest of this becomes, so this is kind of like the I guess I'll put training here. And then here we get into these, we can call this, in a way, performance support, right? Performance support. Now, as you may know, a lot of companies and a lot of training departments, this is kind of the poo-poo, right? We're called training departments. So our efforts apparently are here, while the bulk, as far as I'm concerned, the bulk of the thinking, reflecting, and all that kind of jazz, the in the workplace learning is here, right? Although I know that a lot of times when given the opportunity, we are able to design things that help people here. Performance support. So this is pretty cool because when I thought about it, this kind of overlays another kind of framework and continuum, which you've probably heard about before. And it's this continuum that is called, you've probably heard of it, like incompetence, all the way through to competent competence. So incompetent competence, which is basically, if you say it in real language, it's you don't know what you don't know, right? So you don't know what you don't know. And this moves all the way through to you know what you know, and you know it's super good, right? In very, very like big picture overview. So what's after, there's 4 stages of this knowing, right? You don't know what you don't know, then all of a sudden you know that you don't know. And it's actually moves into from this idea that you really are completely unaware that there's something out there that you should know. You just don't know. And it's not it's a state that most of us operate in because it's a comfortable state, and your brain also likes to feel like it's in control, right? So what it does is it fills gaps for you. It's like, yeah, this world works exactly how it should. Everything's good. All right, cool. Let's go. Let's go to work. Life is good. I understand the universe as it exists. Makes sense to me. Sweet. All right, we got all this other stuff to worry about. We don't need to question anything else. Then something happens and you figure out, you're like, oh, I don't know how to do that. All right, well, I'm going to go and find some info. Learn how to do that. Then what happens is that you get a little bit better at it, and you get some comfort around what your skill set is, and basically what you're doing is you're building competence, right? You're at the last point, you're it's not actually knowing that you know. It's almost, I shouldn't have said it this way because I oversimplified it. It's unconscious competence. So good, you're so good that you don't have to think about it. It's like being a virtuoso in something, right? You're playing the piano, you're no longer thinking about the execution of that task. You are the master. So you're an electrician, you no longer have to like think about how you're going to lay things out and where you're going to connect things. You just know exactly how it's going to work. So because and if I asked you in the moment, you'd probably be like, I wasn't even actually thinking about it. I was just doing it because it is a part of my skill set now that I have now incorporated into everything else in there, and it's now automatic. So we're moving from unconsciously being in the world to unconsciously being a master in the world. It's kind of neat how that is at the both ends of the spectrum, but they mean totally 2 different things, right? So, and here we have conscious competence. There's no spell check on whiteboards, guys. So conscious competence really is just, you're aware, it's not automatic yet. You're very good, but it's not automatic yet. It hasn't become like some sort of a weird habit like driving where you're like, how did I get here? All right, so this is what I think, when I said e-learning, it's not your fault. It's probably not the e-learning either. This is what we've been doing. When I say we, I really mean me and the way I've been thinking about the world. So hopefully you see when I make these connections, you get a little bit of that aha as well, right? So Let me know if you do in the comments. That would be really cool. Or if there's something that I mentioned that triggered something else for you, because a lot of people do that, let me know. That would be awesome, because I learned from that as well. So one of the things I want you to think about is that, like, because I said, oh, it's not the e-learning that's the problem. It's not the things that we produce. It's a little bit bigger than that. Here's what I want you to think about. YouTube. Huge platform for learning, right? It's microlearning at its finest. From top experts. We got the richest people in the world, the big self-made billionaires giving us business advice on there, right? We've got people who have done like Mr. Olympia giving you fitness advice and how to get ripped and huge, right? The experts, top experts are on there. Would I go to Mr. Olympia and be like, dude, half the world isn't ripped yet. It's your fault. No. It's not. The content on there, like if you wanted to anything, right? Create a budget, sew a hanky, make a wreath, fix a toilet. It's all on there. And I've always been saying that the content, the instructional content in any flavor you want, in any style you enjoy hearing it, seeing it visually, walk through, talk through, feelings, it's all there. So why the heck, would we blame those creators for creating poor content, which is what we're doing. We're saying, the e-learning didn't work. They're not motivated to look at it. It's our fault. We got to make it more engaging. Okay, that's one way to look at it. But here's another way to look at it. You, let's say, as most people, don't realize that the way you're managing your money, let's say, is not so great. You don't know it. You're just like, I get a paycheck every 2 weeks or whatever, and then I spend it and it goes here, 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 and here. And then, if in 25 years I don't have anything saved, well, it's because I didn't. It's just how it works. You have no clue that if you went out and budgeted, you watched this video about how to actually budget, you could actually do things to stack maybe the odds in your favor, that you'd have like a little nest egg at the end of that 25 years instead of just having it all go away to bills. But you don't know that, right? You don't know that. You are unconsciously incompetent. You have no clue. And why in the world would I go and look at random videos when my life is good? I'm paying the bills, everything's okay. Then I'm talking to my friend Judy, and she tells me about how she's able to take a huge trip to Europe. And I'm like, wait a minute, Judy's also got 2 kids and makes the same salary as me. What the heck? And she's like, yeah, well, it's because of the way we do our budget every week. And you're like, whoa, you have a different strategy than this? Bing! Whoa, okay, I'm gonna go and watch all the YouTube videos I can on how to budget better because Judy was able to do this. Judy is able to take her kids to Disney World. And she's able to go to DevLearn because she budgeted better. Oh my gosh, whoa. Okay, so here's the problem, right? It's not the content out there. The content out there could be amazing, magical tutorials. I need to perceive the need. So when you're designing things, we design things for the 5 moments of learning need. We got to know that there's a need, right? So we're designing this for this. And that's what Bob said. I got the chance to talk to the BMOsh by myself. It's so awesome. And he's like, e-learning. There's questions out there. It's like, when is e-learning a good fit? Well, BMOsh said it. He said, when people are learning something new, e-learning's great. But one of the things that is challenging is that the people that we're designing this for are here. They don't know what they don't know. So when you show this to them, it's just like in a wall of YouTube videos. They don't know they need it. So we got to think about, what's before this? We got to get them ready for this. How do we do that? Aha. They got to have the aha. Like, oh my God, there's a gap. That's what's missing here. And this is my really terrible, this is a light bulb, my friends. aha. Remember how I said we're in the epiphany making business? Because we got this is great. This is great. It's the aha. It's people getting there going, oh, I do need that. Oh, you hired me and I'm not perfect. I don't have all the skills yet. Oh. It's not always like that. Sometimes it's a negative. Sometimes it's like, man, this, we always think about, oh, we got to paint a beautiful journey for people. No, sometimes it's a heart attack. Oh my God, that was horrible. I never want to go through that again. Am I doing something to cause this? There's an aha, right? So the thing is, that's why we're like, oh, the world is full of information. Yeah, it is. But most people are in the they don't know stage, right? Because that's just being efficient. Because there's so much bombarding us, right? So our vision is not necessarily to improve this training, because I got to tell you, when my toilet's broken, I don't care if the YouTube video is in, what the resolution is, or how well cut it is, or if it's got an intro or an outro, or if it's got branding. I don't care. At that moment when I perceive the need, to me, that's solving a problem. It's solving a gap. It's releasing, it's helping me feel a discomfort that I feel right now, because I have to first feel that discomfort. My world is not awesome. Now I got to go out and change that. I got to seek out a way to release that pain of not knowing, my toilet flooding, let's say. I got to fix it ASAP. And I'm going to jump on that content. And if it fixes that problem, I'm going to love it. I don't care how engaging it is. I am the engagement factor. Do you know what I mean? So I hope that makes sense, because we're focusing so much on this engagement up here, but we're not focusing on what does it take for somebody to really see its value. It's like saying, we keep on asking questions like, when do we use e-learning? When do we not use e-learning, right? That's a good question, but think about it. When do we use a book? When would we use, which topic would fulfill a book versus which topics are not good to be written about in books? We're starting with the tool. We have to start talking about the mind. We have to start talking about people. We have to start talking about people where they are now and the state we have to get them into to be ready for this. This is already awesome. It is, it really is. I've seen some really terrible YouTube videos, but they're helpful because I perceived that need. Of course, things could be improved. That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about the gap of people and how do we get them to get the ahas to perceive the need. That's what we want. And then the rest, gravy, my friends, gravy. All right. So, did you find this useful? If yes, guess what? Share it, like it, let me know. That would be fantastic. elearningsecrets.com, register. I hope you found this useful, and thank you so much for sticking around with me and my terrible drawing of a light bulb. I'm going to work on that for you. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day. Take care, my friends. Bye.